Top of the roundhouse to you all. Today, we are back with our lovable, hairy little stallion that is Chuck Norris. We are finally watching Delta Force 2. Even More Force, which, it's not the name. The name's like Colombian Connection, but I like my name better. I am super excited, so let's just dive right into this, because this is Redeye Reviews. We start at Carnival, or the equivalent of Carnival wherever we are, and these operatives are trying to capture a bad guy, this Colombian drug lord named Ramon Cota.
Okay, let me see what's on cameras 1 and 4. Come on, I know you're here somewhere. 3 years I've been waiting to nail your sorry ass.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really expect your voice to sound like that. So the agents see him and his goons at the party. This one agent is hardcore in disguise, like tiki bra and everything, and I love it. We also have this guy in yet another funny mask. Recognize him? It's John P. Ryan. He was also in Avenging Force, so check out my video on that if you haven't. It's a great movie. But when they go to move in, it's not the right guy under the mask.
I don't recognize you. If you can't show me an invitation, I order you to leave my house at once.
Okay, are you telling me you recognize all of these other people at your party wearing masks and costumes? You have an impressive talent, sir. But outside, these other goons shoot up the truck and they kill the agents inside, and we learned the whole thing was a setup. Cut over to Chuck Norris eating Chinese food.
I'm not going to fight. Excuse me, guys.
When he left the table, didn't he say he wasn't going to fight?
I gave a motivational seminar.
You know that's the kind of line that when they wrote it, all the writers were like, yeah, that's good. But the good guys, they summon Chuck Norris to go on a secret mission. I know there's nothing special about this scene, and it's literally just Chuck driving a truck, but look at how close he gets to the curb. That is some skill driving right there, and it doesn't go unnoticed, sir. But they all talk and decide that they want to kidnap Ramon Cota mid-flight. So they learn what flight he will be on, they get on the plane, they force their way into first class, and they take him as a hostage.
You know what to do this.
1 minute to jump time. You can go with the parachute or without it. You're bluffing.
Is that possible that you can catch up to him? It is, because thanks to Mythbusters, when we watched Point Break, we know it is actually possible to catch up to somebody while free-falling. So thank you, Keanu Reeves. I totally believe this can happen. However, what I don't believe is that money is still somehow coming out of his briefcase the whole time. But they do get him, they bring him to court, they find him guilty of, all kinds of stuff, but they set his bail super low, so he just kind of shrugs it off and then gets out of jail immediately. They don't care, and nobody else seems to care, because Chuck and his partner just go about their life as if nothing even happened. They go to his kid's basketball game, not a care in the world.
That out, everyone's watching.
I'll let him be jealous. I got the most beautiful wife in the world.
Okay, sir, this is a high school basketball game. There are kids all over the place. 2021, cancel. Both of you, cancel. Don't smile at him, Chuck. You're canceled. None of them get canceled, but when they get home, his family gets canceled because Cota shows up and kills his son and wife. Which, again, after a high-profile case in court, why wouldn't they have, security or something at their house? We don't know. But the dad gets there, and he's sad. He's sad that they died, but I think he's mostly sad because now he has to mow the lawn himself. Curse you! Why must you grow so fast? But he is obviously pissed. He decides to go and kill Cota himself. But when he gets there, his old friends stop him just in time. And they tell him, one day we will have our revenge. But then, every henchman in a 5-mile radius shows up. They all load their weapons at the same time. That's a lot. And then they take them captive. And now Coda knows he was set up by one of his own guys. Because, how else would they have known what flight he was on? What an elaborate setup. Curtains, walls, doors, glass into a tiny room. How often do you use this exact thing where you required your builders to make this room in your mansion? If you don't use this at least once or twice more in this movie, this is a waste. But he finds the rat, he kills him, and then he gasses the good guy to death because that specific little room is also a gas chamber. Hey, man, modern real estate market, the gas chamber, that's just the kind of special thing that's really gonna, up your value. So maybe long-term investment there, kudos. But the military holds a press conference to talk about the hostage situation, and he's so pissed he holds his greeting for the last second.
Good morning.
Good morning. Walk off. I guess you could say good morning when you leave. It just feels weird to see that in practice, but I don't think there's technically anything wrong with that. So, Chuck decides to gather his force to practice for the rescue mission. Practice or not, he's just kicking the shit out of all of these guys for like an hour. Chuck, are you teaching them anything, dude? Or did you just need to kick some ass? I'm for it. But these poor guys, they probably didn't know what they signed up for. And now with all their newfound head injuries, they go practice how they're going to break into the compound. And they're messing up left and right, dude. They're using live rounds. Someone is shooting into the building through the wall while they're in there. This guy's just spinning around, not taking it seriously. How did you not just kill each other a bunch? I guess they don't. They don't kill each other, or they don't show us that, because we then learn that if Coda sees an American plane land in the area, he will kill the 3 DEA agents that he has hostage. So Chuck decides to go in a day earlier to the mission so he can get the hostages out before the rest of the troops show up. And, maybe it's a safer play this way. So he lands, he meets his contact.
Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you.
He scares the ever-loving shit out of her for, no reason. Chuck, you're such a troll, man. I love it, though. I'm into it. Then the two of them start to walk towards the back of the compound area.
Your backpack is too heavy. Drop it.
Forget it, lady.
Chuck, buddy, you're crowding the lady a little bit. Give her some goddamn space. The rest of the troops, they land. They start getting ready.
Why are these soldiers here? They're here to observe, Ernesto. You notice they have no weapons.
I noticed.
No weapons? What's in the giant duffel bags they're carrying? Could you assume? I don't know. Maybe some weapons are in there. I don't know. Also, didn't you just say that if planes landed, they would kill the DEA agents? Then why are you landing now? Chuck's not even close. I don't get it. I don't really get it, but they don't kill him. We cut back to Chuck, who now has the task of climbing the unclimbable mountain. And now the whole plot grinds to a halt as we watch Chuck Norris slowly scale a very climbable mountain. Squeeze me? Baking powder? What was that rope attached to? Why was it already above you? None of this makes sense. So the tidbit about Redeye. I've done a lot of rock climbing in my life. And if you're climbing by yourself, why would you have a rope? The only way a rope is useful in climbing is if somebody's on the other side of it. That's it, really. Or unless you're rappelling from the top of something. I could complain about this all day, but maybe one day we'll watch Vertical Limit, and then I'm going to go off. Oh my God, I have so much to talk about in that movie. But getting back to this, just know that it's wrong. Just know that none of this is right. Back on the ground, they are given the green light to start their assault on the compound.
Let's lock and load! Hey, what are the weapons? You lied to me, damn it!
Of course he lied to you. Dude, why would there have been a ton of special forces, just to hang out? You are not very smart. But these men start to attack small bases along the mountain, like working their way up to the compound.
Jesus Christ.
In this little hut, they find Jean-Claude Van Damme's own little personal stash house. I'm sorry, it's too easy. It's so easy to make that joke, and I'm going to take that low-hanging fruit every goddamn time. Meanwhile, Chuck manages to break into the base. He easily finds the 3 DEA bros, gets them out of there pretty quick. Then he heads off after Ramon Coda. But he gets into this room. The first thing we see is yet another statue that has a pointy thing at chest height. So if we could just assume someone's going to die on that. But while in here, he gets in a fight with some of the super henchmen. Even though this guy seems to be kicking his ass, I just don't believe it. Like, I'm having a really hard time believing that anybody who looks like this could be threatening, outside of like a mall food court, maybe. Or maybe he's like the guy who's a little too into feeding the squirrels at the park or something. I just don't buy it. And Chuck doesn't either because school is open for session.
My turn to teach. Lesson number 1. Lesson number 2. School's out.
What did I say? Someone was gonna die on that thing. How is there still a marketplace for statues like this? Anyway, I'm getting worked up. Anyways, Coda enters the room. He goes all weird and Tommy Wiseau's all over the place.
I loved it. Poor Carlos.
Oh, the eyes. Truly are windows into the soul.
And then he knocks out Chuck. And he puts him in our favorite little room of the house. And okay, I stand corrected. Maybe you do use little gas chambers enough to have an entire room dedicated to it. But he starts to gas Chuck. And even though the first guy died in like 10 seconds when he did this is Chuck Norris, okay? It's going to take him just enough time to advance the plot somehow. And it does. His boys show up. They start blowing the entire place up. It cracks the glass, just enough. So Chuck can get out on his own terms. He saved himself, don't forget it. He then takes the knocked out body of the drug cartel and proceeds to get the hell out of Dodge. As they go down the mountain, the local military general shows up. He's totally corrupt. He takes his bad guy helicopter. He attempts to kill Chuck, which I guess in turn would kill Coda, but he doesn't care, He eventually manages to stop their vehicle, but right when they're about to die, the good guy helicopter sneaks up behind the bad guy helicopter. Man, nature's crazy, huh? Watching these things hunt in the wild, it's really something else. But they take their hostage into the local village, which, why? You're being chased by 50 dudes with guns and dress shirts. It's not a great idea. But hey, at least these henchmen are gonna die looking fly as shit. So things don't look good. And I mean for the henchmen, because it's Chuck Norris. Just his beard can kill 50 guys, but a beard and a gun? There's not enough henchmen in the world to take him down. But during the craziness, Coda manages to escape. A local girl and Chuck Norris chase after him. The military at this point, just assumes there's no locals in the village anymore. They go fucking crazy. They shoot all the guns, all the rockets. They destroy everything in like a 1 mile radius. It's nuts. This guy's all excited. He does a little spin off of a bush. I don't know why. You look cool. Anyways, the lady catches up to Coda. He wrecks her. He stabs her in the stomach with the machete. And it's sad. I don't want to get into her backstory because it bums me the hell out. But just know that this is really messed up. It's super sad. But now Chuck catches up. Starts messing him up real good. Knocks him out, though. Doesn't kill him. Because, he's a good guy and we need him for his court date. But for their getaway, the helicopter drops some harnesses for Chuck and the guy to use. But then the winch malfunctions and the helicopter just drags them through the jungle. They can't fly any higher, I guess. I don't know why they can't just go up. They don't. His henchman attempts to free him, but only cuts the rope just slightly. And if you don't think that's not foreshadowing, then you've never watched a Chuck Norris movie. Because as Coda is taunting Chuck Norris about how amazing cocaine is, his line snaps, and he falls like 10 miles. It's so high up. I didn't know helicopters could fly this high. He falls to his death. Our movie's over. They do that great thing where the bad guy dies, but Chuck didn't do it, so his hands are clean despite everybody else he killed in this movie. He's a good guy. But yeah, it's over. So let's keep this high-flying ride going as we head on over to Redeye Reacts.
I'm sorry, sir. This is for first-class passengers only.
Can I go to the bathroom?
I dare you to try to come up from coach and use the first-class bathroom when I'm there. I'll put my hand on your chest, okay? There's a pig trough in the back. That's for you guys.
Okay, maybe don't film the stunt double this close, but whatever. I'll suspend reality for the scene.
Heavily guarded on all 3 sides.
Most mountains have 4 sides.
That was the president!
Your backpack is too heavy.
There must have been some fat Indians who had to get across.
San Carlos is a sovereign country, not a puppet of the United States.
Lighten up, Ernesto. Cool down.
Why don't you come along for the ride, Ernesto? We're not armed!
What? Shit! Red alert! I order you to leave the Carlos airspace at once!
Why don't you shut the fuck up?
Okay, that was everything. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to support the channel, please head on over to the Patreon page, the link found below. You will also find a link to the merch store down there and the Discord channel. Join whatever you want to join, it's all good. I would also like to give a huge shout out to our very first Patreon supporter. This is such a cool moment for myself and the channel, and I have greatly appreciated your continued support of everything. You've been so supportive, and it means a lot. So, TNT, you're the best, and the first ever Redeye regular. So again, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Subscribe to the channel if you want to, like the video, leave comments, do all the usual things. I thank you so much. I will see you next time, and until then, stay happy and stay healthy.
Ah!